What up, fam of Liberty? I'm Admin Tim. Admin V has read Hillbilly Elegy, so you didn't have to. In that book, JD Vance claims to be from Appalachia, but he's not. He's from a middle-class town between Dayton and Cincinnati. Now, there are other people talking about why he isn't Appalachian. You should listen to them. Now, I'm not going to deny that he was born into a working-class family in Ohio. He likes to claim in his book that he bootstrapped his way out of that life, and now he's trying to pull that rope ladder that he climbed up on, up behind him. We love a good success story at Sons of Liberty, but JD Vance is not a good success story. JD Vance has had more name changes than a rapper. Not that there's anything wrong with changing your name, except for the fact that Republicans don't necessarily seem to respect the name changes of trans people, so fuck them. And after college and a short stint in the military, he became a venture capitalist and disdainful of the very people that he grew up with. His book ignored the systemic plights of poor people and failed to acknowledge the difference between his very white upbringing and a middle-class Ohio town. He talks about the problems and basically says, oh well, should have made better choices. And it's fucking bullshit. This man clearly has had some advantages that a lot of people didn't fucking have. He had a stable, responsible adult in his life. He credits his grandma with a lot of his success. He's obviously intelligent. I mean, you don't get into Yale Law School without being smart. He was in a middle-class town with good schools and had adults who guided him to make choices. He was a fucking straight white male. He got into Yale Law School where he was able to make connections to some very powerful and rich people. He became a venture capitalist, which means that it was his job to make money for rich people. I think you can argue that as a Republican politician, he's still doing that. Hey, isn't the working class people that he grew up with who are supposed to be benefiting from Republican policies? JD Vance was selected as president's candidate because he brings a whole bunch of wealthy billionaire elite buddies with him. Mark Andreessen, Ben Horowitz, the Winklevoss, what the fuck? Elon Musk, they all want deregulation. These guys all want to avoid Biden's billionaire taxes. Now, that requires Project 2025 to first gut federal agencies like the IRS to an unprecedented degree with so-called Schedule F changes, and to replace key appointees with Trump lackeys. Schedule F paves the way for Project 2025's political appointees because it would let Trump fire people who usually aren't subjected to presidential hiring and firing. Personnel is policy, and this is how JD Vance's billionaire backers, now in a devil's bargain with Trump, plan to destroy it. JD Vance says that women and very young girls should be forced to have babies, even if they were victims of sexual assault or incest, which is just another word for rape. JD Vance calls the successful women of the Democratic Party childless cat ladies. Quick disclaimer, Admin V, as a childless cat lady Democrat, was not offended by this, but sort of amused that he made it so clear that he didn't want her vote. JD Vance claims to be for workers' rights, but has done very little to bring policies that improve the plight of American workers to law, as he's beholden to the billionaires that paid him to get where he's at. He is the worst kind of politician. He has ideas that, if he worked with the Democrats to get them in place, could be good for America, but he refuses to do so because he knows that's not what his Republican bosses want him to do. In our opinion, he's bought and paid for by corporate oligarchs. JD Vance talks to poor Republican voters like he's one of them, and maybe it's possible that he once was, when he was still popping zits and jerking off to the Sears catalog, but it's clear to any discerning observer where he really stands, and it isn't with the fucking people. So fuck JD Vance.